So tiredness and fatigue, living with motor neuron disease. I'm struggling and trying to adapt to a new way of life because most recently I am knackered from doing just the simplest tasks. And those holes that you might see in that wall under the TV will become apparent a little bit later on, and the reason why I'm doing this video. So let's get to it. For those that don't know me, my name is James. I am a married dad of 3, living and dealing with motor neurone disease. I was diagnosed with MND, specifically limb onset ALS, which is a type of motor neurone disease, back in June 2021. And since then, I've been trying to raise some awareness by sharing my journey and experiences living with the condition. Now, one of the many symptoms that you get with motor neurone disease, apart from the obvious, which is currently my arms and hands are most affected where I can't use them properly. And the reason for that, if you don't know what motor neurone disease is, it's where the signal from your brain to your muscles don't work. They send the wrong signal or no signal, and over time the muscles that are being affected will become weaker and weaker and eventually become useless. So why do I get tired and fatigued with motor neurone disease? Well, from what I've experienced and from the knowledge I've gained from speaking to my neurologist and other people living with the condition that is further along in their journey living with motor neurone disease, it's where the muscles that I'm trying to use, other muscles are then compensating to get the movement done. And I'll give you an example. If I wanted to simply scratch my head, I can't lift my arm up to do it. I have to bring my head to my hand and then move my head on my hand because I can't move my arm from that position to actually give myself a good head scratch. And who doesn't like a good head scratch? It's something I'm trying to adapt with day-to-day things, and especially being a dad to 3 young children, I am slowly realizing I can't do the things that I used to do. And I try and live by the motto, focus on what you can do and not what you can't. And although the things that I can't do are things I want to focus on, I have to focus on the things that I can do, because the repercussions of overexerting myself and trying to utilize other muscles to get the job done and get the movement done is really tiring. And today I'm feeling probably the most tired I have done for a very long time. And there's a few reasons for that. 1, I didn't listen to my wife. 2, I was my typical self and was impatient. And 3, I should have listened to my body and stopped when I should have done. And that was because I tried to put up 2 or 3 shelves under that TV to store the soundbar for the TV. And it's something simple like that that I used to love being able to do. And my mind is telling me that I can. And I'm trying to get my body to do the task, like drill the holes, measure up, make it level, which is the reason why the shelves are still not up on the wall. And my body just isn't doing it. And where I'm utilizing other muscle groups and parts of my body, I'm just getting more tired, more fatigued. And I ended up not being able to do it. I spent the majority of an afternoon trying to do it and not completing the task. I was frustrated, annoyed with myself. I've now got 6 holes in my wall that now need to be filled, and I now need to utilize other people to help me. And that's where I should have listened to my wife, because she said, you shouldn't try and do this yourself. As much as we're trying to stay positive and try and keep some form of independence, I'm now having to learn the hard way, because I can't use my arms at all today. And I'm feeling very, very fatigued and missing out on doing things like playing with my little girl and just being able to do simple tasks like have a shower this morning. That was just a really tiring task to have to do because of me not listening to my body when I tried to put up those shelves. So what have I learned from this, and how do I overcome the next obstacle that makes me feel as tired and fatigued as I am now? I'm now trying to implement making sure that I rest. And as hard as that is, where I am a parent to 3 children that need looking after, they need entertainment, they need their dads to be listening to them and actively being with them, I need to make sure that I rest my body so I am no longer the tired dad that I am now today. And I also need to look at my diet. I am slowly trying to adapt my diet to get me more calories, because every day I'm probably burning more calories than someone like myself without motor neuron disease, because I am using other muscle groups and expending much more energy in just normal day-to-day things like simply walking, breathing, standing up, sitting down, talking. I'm using more energy, which will then in turn make me more tired and fatigued. So it's little things like that I have to try and implement every day to give me the best possible chance to stay as well, to not be as tired. That's the main thing. That's what this video is about, to not be as tired with MND. And it's going to get harder, and it's probably going to get worse, but I can implement little things to make sure that I have the best chance of being a dad to my children and a husband to my wife, where I'm not just vegged out either upstairs trying to have a nap or on the sofa doing absolutely nothing. And my wife probably is going to watch this and go, well, you don't do anything anyway. But it's nice to know that I have the energy to try and do that. And I feel very fortunate in the position that I'm in with motor neuron disease, as when I was diagnosed, they told me it was a very slow progressive version. And a lot of people with motor neuron disease that might be watching this would have had a quicker version, or in a further along stage with their progression, where they might be now wheelchair bound and have a different type of MND. So you've got ALS, which is the most common one, which is what I have. But off the back of ALS, you've got limb onset, which is what I have been diagnosed with. You've also got bulbar onset, which affects your voice, your breathing, and your speech, things like that. Other people can be affected in their legs. And it's a really hard disease to sort of come to terms with and adapt to as it progresses, because you can't take notes from others that have got a faster progressing version or a different type of version of the condition, because everyone is so different with this horrendous disease. And it's probably why it's so hard to treat, and why we haven't found a cure for it yet, which is why I'm doing videos like this, to try and raise a bit more awareness, to hopefully help find treatment or a cure one day, because that's all we fundamentally want, really. There they are. So I hope you found that video useful, and I'll see you on the next one.
Mind over matter, mind over MND. We do this together. Join hands with me. I wish that we never met. Paths get crossed and you're on to the next. You make it so hard to forget. You take so much, not an ounce of regret.